Right, I'm with Sam. Looking back on a 3-1 home defeat against Thatcham Town today, do you think it would be an exaggeration to say that that first half performance was the worst under your tenure so far?
No, it's not an exaggeration. It was the worst.
Yeah, there was nothing positive in it, unfortunately.
No. Other than it was only 2.
Yeah. Can you put your finger on why or what happened?
Didn't start fast. Didn't win our battles. Just didn't do the basic stuff. And literally it was men against boys. That whole bit. You can look back at the officials.
They didn't defend badly for us in the first half. They didn't let a man run free and score. Mm-hmm. They didn't let a man 100%. Have a free header. Mm-hmm. We have to hold up our hands, and people have to take responsibility for that.
Of course. Yeah.
It doesn't help when you have probably 7 or 8 of your players putting in sort of 4 out of 10 performances in that first half.
4? Yeah, that's generous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You had to make a couple of changes to your starting lineup. Obviously, we brought in O'Shane.
Brown, yeah.
Yep. Did okay.
Yeah.
Not too bad. He was in for James, who's obviously injured his knee.
Yeah.
I know that you were planning on starting Lindell,
but
unfortunately, traffic or
didn't
happen. Were there any thoughts of maybe putting someone a bit more dynamic in the middle of the park? I know you got Ash on the sideline. He's a player that a few of us are thinking, why isn't he starting?
We've won games with Matty, Courtney in the bill, and they didn't turn up today. It's as simple as that. We've won games with that 4, and they didn't turn up. And listen, players are going to be disappointed, and rightfully so, for the ones that obviously didn't play or didn't get the right minutes.
Yeah.
And it's up to those players now to try and probably keep their shirts, because there will be changes.
Okay, cool. Your changes at half time, bringing on Max and Izzy. Sorry, I came out late from the room. It seemed to have a positive impact though.
Yeah.
Max looked really bright, really lively. Izzy looked solid. So that's got to give you food for thought going forward.
Listen, Max that was a tremendous performance for him. Obviously coming in, he's got his head down. He's probably had one of the better attitudes of any player I've worked with, to be fair, since he's obviously been out the side for a little bit, and he came in to try put himself obviously back in the equation, and he's definitely done that, and got a goal for it actually, and he probably deserved it. Whether we as a team deserved getting on the score sheet is a different matter, but he certainly deserved the goal today.
Okay. We spoke about players' mentality last week. Do you think performances like today show that some of your players are a little bit mentally weak?
Trying to trip me up here, no.
No, obviously not, mate. Honestly, no. I'm just interested in your thoughts.
The game's changed a little bit now. I just think what a change room looked like, 5-10 years ago to how it is now. I think everyone's sort of mentality is different. But I think all sort of gaffers up and down the country are probably dealing with that. So I don't know if I'm not going to say they're mentally weak. I think that's probably unfair, but I just think there's a different mentality.
Okay, maybe mentally weak wasn't the right sort of phrase, but you got some players who, when they're on song, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to take a lot to knock them off song.
And that is an issue. Yeah, and I think when they're not, I tell you what, it's not even, people are going to have highs and lows all the time. Yeah. I think the big thing is actually when you're trying to get back on the horse, and I think that's the difficult part at the moment, that for a few of them that they need to try and sort of get right. And I'll do what I can, but that's obviously something them as an individual needs to do as well.
Okay. Let's take a look at our injuries at the minute. Mm-hmm. You've got James out, you've got Tance still on the sideline.
Yeah, Conan.
Yeah. Key players, big players in big positions for us. Do we have any ETAs for those guys?
Tance is progressing quite well. Maybe we might see him back in training in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Conan's had a conversation with a consultant, and he's probably going to be back in training in about 3 weeks if he does the rehab right. James is looking okay. I reckon James might be a week or 2. We'll see. He's getting a lot more flexibility back in his knee, so hopefully he'll be back in soon enough.
Okay, well, some positive news too.
Yeah, some positive.
Right, well, from me, I'm going to wish you all a happy Christmas because personally, I'm not going to be around until the new year now.
Enjoy it.
Next few weeks, you'll be interviewed by one of Darren or Blake.
Cheers.